Welcome to APDesign Digital Tools. Now we're going to be looking at making a structure using adaptive components. So I want you to go in and hit New, Family, go down to Generic, Model Adaptive. We'll put down 2 points and then make those 2 points adaptive. We need to remember that we're going to create a standoff. Essentially, these 2 points will represent 2 points on our surface. So like that point to that point. So we need to actually give it a dimension here so that the column is kind of inboard of the curtain wall. Okay, so go back to your family. This is probably a good time to go ahead and save. So we'll call this the spider column. Alright, so let's go ahead and put a point directly on there, but before you do that, you need to set it to horizontal plane. And then do the same thing over here. And what that does is if you select that point, you can move it offset from that plane. So if I select it, it'll basically move perpendicular to the plane. So if I had set it on one of these vertical planes, it would move kind of perpendicular. If it was this plane, it would move in this direction toward that red arrow. So we want it to go in the blue. So that's why we hit that. Let's go ahead and add a parameter here. We'll go length, standoff. So okay. We didn't give it an actual length, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's give it something a little bit obnoxious so we can see it. It'll also get the node off of this adaptive component so we can select it. So let's do it again over here. You'll know you've grabbed the point and not the adaptive component when you see these handles that allow you to move it. Don't move it, but that should show you. And then you'll also get this offset as an option. Okay, we'll assign it the other parameter. We'll grab those 2 points. And we'll have a spline through points. And we'll make that a reference line. And we're going to add a point onto that reference line here at the end. Let's go ahead and put one in the middle. And one near the end over there. Alright, so now we're ready to put a profile for our column. So we need to go in New, Family, Conceptual Mass. And in here, just grab a circle. You can grab and make it any profile you want. But let's start with the circle. Don't worry about the dimension of the circle. We're going to change it anyway. So now let's make that so we can add a parameter to it. Grab the dimension, go to label, add parameter. Let's call this the circle. Yeah, circle radius. And let's go ahead and you'll learn something new here. We're going to go into the family types. And in here, we're going to create a new family type. So we'll say this is a 9-inch radius. And we'll change the circle radius to 9 inches. And apply it. You should see it shrink. And then we'll create a new family type. We'll call this, like, say, 6-inch radius. And we'll change the radius right here. 6 inches, and apply. And you should have seen, not only it tells us that it's changed, but it actually physically changed. So what we've done now is we've created a profile that is a circle that can be changed from a 6-inch to 9-inch given our new family types. And that could be used for in any project in any other family. So these are the kind of things that you might save in a special location that you just kind of a general folder in your Revit. So I mean, maybe you put it kind of out more in the open. It's up to you. I'm trying to consolidate, so I got to keep things kind of in one place. So I'll go ahead and save. I'll call it the circle profile. Keep it generic, because this could be structure, it could be railing, it could be a lot of things. I could add a lot more families, 1-inch, 2-inch radiuses, stuff of that nature. So say yes, and we'll load that into our spider column. Okay, so you should see a circle floating around. Before you assign it to these points, go ahead and hit set, and you want to find the perpendicular plane on that point, and then set it. And you can see what we're doing is we're setting a 9-inch radius. That's cool. We'll do another set to this back point and put the 9-inch. And now let's go ahead, just so we can see something happen. We're going to select the 6-inch, and we'll hit set, and we'll put it in the center point. Alright, now we're ready to move these to the end. I'm going to move that all the way to the end, so we'll that, and the normalized curve is going to go, get that so we can see it. Curve parameter is going to go as close to 0. We're going to actually make it 0, so it goes all the way to the start of the line. And we'll go grab that one. You can't just grab the circle. The circle doesn't have that normalized curve stuff, so we just grab that and put it to 1, which will move it to the end there. And now we just want to grab each of our circles. And holding down the control key, you create the form, and it should give us this kind of tapered column. It goes from 9-inch to 6-inch and back up to 9-inch. Kind of weird, cool, who knows, but it's different. And it just kind of shows us that we have kind of complete control over these new family types. Okay, so load into the project. Project 2. And we don't want to really be on this. We want to go to our 3D view. And then I want to tab into, or at least get into the custom mass, and click on that surface. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the component so I can see what's underneath. If you don't see these nodes, you need to click on this surface representation, that little arrow there, and you'll go to surface tab, and you probably see that, and I just want to click that off and turn on nodes. So say OK. So now you see the nodes, and that's the beauty of the adaptive components. Just like when we made the spider panel, we took our spider clip assembly and we attached it to the corner nodes of the panel. Here we're just going to use the 2 points, and we're going to create a component, the spider column, and we're going to select one of the bottom nodes and then the node just above it. And you'll see that it comes into alignment with those 2 nodes. Now the beauty of this now is that then we hit the repeat, we select it, hit this repeat, and it populates the world with our stuff here. You might notice there's a kind of strange shifting. What I've found is I've messed with this, is that as we're closer to, it depends on kind of the warping of your surface, but let's say that we don't have a standoff at all. It's right on the surface. We'll see that our joints are really rather uniform. Unfortunately, as we add that standoff, it gets less and less uniform. So let's say we make it the 3 feet. See what that looks like. You know, it gets further and further off. I have a slight fix. It's not brilliant, but it's kind of worth doing. The other thing we might notice is that this is outboard of our building. We actually want it inboard. So for that, we can either go negative here and say that, or we can select one of these and just say flip. And essentially it's telling it to kind of go on the other side of the surface. So it's either or. Let's go ahead and on the surface, let's go ahead and turn the components back on so we can take a look. Alright, obviously the shifting is a problem. We're not really keen on that. I also have a collision I might fix later with my floor plates. One thing you could do given this scenario is to get this relationship a lot closer. Not a great idea. I mean, it's fine, but perhaps that's not your design intent. Realizing that the shift doesn't look horrible at a kind of a sectional or a kind of spatial. It's just when you really get into it that it looks crazy. So I might go back into that spider column, and what I could do is I could add a circle to this base, just one that kind of overlaps, and select it and see what generic forms I can make. I can make a sphere out of it, and I can put a sphere on that side and then do the same over here. Now, granted, that isn't parametrically driven. If this 9-inch changes, it won't change. I've tried to actually take that circle that we brought in and create a form out of that, but it only gives these two options, extrude or plane. So that doesn't work. I'll just do this. This is one of those quick fixes. And we'll go ahead and create a sphere. And we'll load it into project, and let's take a look at that. Hit save because it disappeared on us. I found that has something to do with having the custom mass open. I'm not sure that's all of it, but if you have it open, you're editing. Next time you come in, it kind of gets rid of what you were working on. I think it goes back to what it could see before. I'll go ahead and get that standoff not to be so extreme. Maybe even closer. And let's go take a look at that. That's not bad. We're going to close the joint up. It's a little bit of a bulge. If you didn't have this kind of middle throat, it would be probably slightly better. But since I was going for kind of a custom look, there's a problem. One thing you might notice is that perhaps this curtain wall system doesn't need these at the end. So I would I would definitely go in and edit, just like we edited the brackets so that there's only, we could turn it on and off. Let's do one last thing and then we'll call it a day. We'll grab these various components, and under visibility or visible, we'll go ahead and add a parameter. We'll say show, and we'll make that instance. And we'll probably have to do the same with these. We'll see if I can actually use the same parameter. I think because I'm going to turn them all on or off, it should be alright. And we'll load that in and take a look. Alright, so here at the corner, where I actually might want those off and basically have the corner not have one of these structural pieces, go in and turn. It's not letting me. What you need to do is go into the mass, and in the mass go ahead and tab through until you get one of them, and then you can turn the show column off. Oh, bummer. Let's try that again. Since we want to get rid of some of these maybe at the corner, what you're going to do is go ahead and get into the custom mass and select each